Welcome everyone, looks like we're live. Hope you all had a great weekend. Here for another day of camera news. Some interesting things that came up today that I'd like to talk about. Currently using the XM5 with the cooling fan. I've mentioned to some people that I may review this Ulanzi cooling fan over the next bit, because I was getting overheating warnings before that. So this is it here. Let's just hope I don't get any warnings today. Okay, on to the first piece of information. Okay, so the Ricoh GR4, there's some more news coming out right now about potentially there being a confirmed monochrome release of the 4. Now, this is not at a low price, however, and I would expect the same price, if not potentially even more. Or, sorry, I would expect the same price or potentially higher for the GR4 monochrome. So that is unfortunate. Let's just hope that for whatever reason there's some price cuts in the near future. However, I don't expect it with these Ricoh cameras. Yeah, let me know. What are your thoughts on a new Ricoh monochrome camera? Personally, I really like shooting monochrome myself. I think they have a really nice system for shooting monochrome. Like, I think the JPEG images look quite nice out of camera, and I'd consider them to be one of the best alongside Leica in that sense. Speaking of Leica, let's now talk about the M11-V, which apparently is also not just rumors and speculation these days about it having no longer a rangefinder style camera, and they're going to be putting in an EVF into the system. So a rangefinder like this should be no more. I really wonder exactly what that's going to look like on this new M11. I can only imagine the price of that, but I think that, I don't know, I really have mixed feelings about it. I was gonna say, I think maybe it could be a good way of bringing a different audience into that M-mount system. However, it being a rangefinder is really one of the major things that brings people to that model. I mean, if you want to use EVF, you have the SL series, so not really sure how I feel about that. This is a camera actually that I really like to use, but I just don't use it much, this M4P. I just find that it's a bit difficult for me to end up shooting film when I also am shooting video. I don't know. Do you want to see videos of me going through some film on this and spending some money? Don't make any money on YouTube, so might as well just blow a bunch on film. But yeah, it's a nice camera. I actually was watching some videos of someone shooting M8 yesterday and like some reviews of that. And I think I'd get more use out of the M8, but then you still have the same issues with it not being able to shoot video, and I don't know, maybe with the Osmo Pocket could make for some pretty interesting content shooting alongside this M4P. Let me know, what do you think about that? So now, Nikon has released their new updated version of their 24-70 f2s. This is part of the S line, and I actually shoot Nikon as well, as you can see here. I have the Z6 III, which I'm considering selling, honestly. I love this camera. It's probably the best camera I've ever used, but I don't know, for some reason Micro Four Thirds is calling me as of recent. I don't know why, but you know, I started out on the Micro Four Thirds platform, and I don't know, for whatever reason, it's pulling at me once more. I'd still be shooting this Fuji XF mount line, but I don't know, I think I'd like a new G9 II potentially. Let's look at some of these sample images here. Looks pretty sweet. This is a nice shot. I like the way that one was framed. I did find some prices as well for this lens, and it looks like, I think this is Canadian pricing. Yeah, it's Canadian pricing. So $3,500 for this lens. There's no way I'd be buying that. With their 24-70, the original copy costing $3,100. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's a nice lens. They're pretty dialed in with their lenses these days. I expect it to be another flawless Nikon lens. Let's see if we can find some sample galleries. Although I think it's a little bit early for proper samples of this one to be released. This is from that same set. Apparently it's also the lightest 24-70 f2.8, which is cool. So I mean, if you were to want to make that jump, I think that would be one of the reasons why you would do it. Just 5.6 inches long, maximum diameter of 84 millimeters, 3.4 inches. I wonder what the weight of it is. Oh, that's kind of cool though. The lens hood they have with this one is actually completely redesigned, allowing you to fit your finger in here in order to change your ND filters and whatnot, or your CPL filters. That's really brilliant. I like that being introduced. I don't think I've ever seen another lens manufacturer do that. That's really smart. Something that I want to start to maybe create STLs of, like for 3D printing. Yeah, why not, right? Leave a little bit of an opening for the ND. It's brilliant. Because really that's the major issue when shooting with ND filters. You can't use lens hoods, so they're really taking quite a hit with your contrast there. In the sun anyways. Tracking performance is about 60% better than before. Their lenses are already great for autofocus. I haven't really had issues with any of the new Nikkor ones. So it looks like it has next to no focus breathing, which is good for video. Control ring can be clicked or declicked. It's also nice to have, of course, for your video and photo shooters. Yeah, it looks pretty good, pretty good. Nikon is releasing another wave of tariffs. Looks like, again, the second time this summer, and that will take effect on September 1st. So if you need to buy anything from Nikon, now's the time to do it. I'm sure that will even raise prices in the used market just a little bit. So, oh man, it's unfortunate. Every stream as of recent, I've had to mention tariff increases by another company here. It's making things pretty unaffordable for most people. Just recently seeing the Ricoh prices coming through. And then before that was the Sony RX. It's too bad. It really is too bad. The Sigma 12mm 1.4 APS-C lens was also another interesting release somewhat recently. Reviews have been pretty good with this one as well. I think this could be a nice lens for the Fuji mount, actually. I believe it came out for Fuji, right? Let's see. Pretty sure it came out for Fuji. Yeah, Fuji X. And this one had a price of $629 USD. And $829 Canadian. I wouldn't pay that though. I'd wait for it to drop used. But yeah, it looks pretty nice. The background blur looks pretty good. Don't see anything that looks too offensive in that background blur. This is shot at f2. Looks like there might be some Leica in there. So what do you think with this 12mm? Is it too wide as a everyday lens? I think it's a good vlogging lens personally. Maybe not the most universal lens, but for like vlogging or architecture work, it could be pretty good without it being too distorted. Should be no surprise when buying Sigma glass, it's sharp. I think everyone expects any release of theirs to be pretty sharp at this point, and you can see it here. This is at 1.4, and yeah, the corner sharpness looks pretty nice. And this is shot with the R7. One of the competitors at this price range, oh, that's a pretty cool shot, would be the Viltrox 13 1.4, and that one goes for, looks like a couple $100 less. You can, let's see, looks like maybe even at AliExpress you can get a pretty good price on that. So $500 at AliExpress Canadian. If you were to buy this at Amazon, $6.99 from Viltrox's official store, $6.71. These are Canadian pricing that I'm saying. Also, it says that at checkout, you would be paying only $4.19. So that's a pretty good price for the Viltrox one. In comparison to the Sigma, you could pay half the price to get a lens that's also pretty decent in comparison. Can't imagine that there's a major difference between the two. Sigma these days and Viltrox have been pretty comparable, honestly. Yeah, it looks nice. The rendering looks pretty similar. I would imagine that probably would have not so great autofocus in comparison, but paying half the price, and I mean even less if you buy on AliExpress. There's typically no tax as well, so oh yeah, and this is the Ulanzi fan that I'm using right now on the XM5, and still no shut-off warnings on the XM5. Just shooting in 4K. However, being indoors, it still will go off, I think, around this 15-minute mark. So, yeah. Okay, let's just... I want to do a bit of a poll, and you guys can let me know what video you would like me to do next. I'm working on a few different things right now. Currently, I'm working on a video that shows how practical it is to use this Osmo 360 as a behind-the-scenes camera for doing reviews and things like this, or even just any sort of photography gig work. It's been a really nice addition for me with the use of this hot shoe adapter, and I've actually been putting this in the hot shoe of my camera, and it allows you to watch me focusing, changing apertures, dialing in my composition. So this has been nice. I'm working on a video for that. Also, I've been working on a video of this 51. Oh, always accidentally turn on the record button on the Osmo. Also working on this 1.4 Canon FD video. No, it's not focusing on it. It's so annoying. Anyways, yeah, this is Canon 50mm 1.4. So this is another one that's coming out soon. Let me know what you want to see first, though. And then also been working on doing a bit of a review with this 24-120 by Nikon, and I don't know, I can't say I'm super impressed with this one due to its manual focusing. I find that it's really difficult for me to focus manually and reach infinity focus without going over. I don't know. Not great. I think modern glass, like no matter how well regarded it is, it usually suffers when trying to use it in a way like that, and I don't know, not really feeling it for manual focusing. So I don't know if I'll end up keeping this one actually, so time will tell. I'll let you guys know in a video somewhat soon. But yeah, inspire me, let me know what you want. Let me know. And also, I think I should do some sort of tests as well. Try and run like maybe 4 batteries through the XM5 while recording video and see how this Ulanzi fan does and if it can hold up through the entire time frame where I'm doing so, just like back-to-back batteries in 6K. Anyways, that is all. I'm gonna start plugging away at some content here for main videos that I release here. Please like and subscribe, and leave me a comment. Let me know what's going on in your world and what you want me to have on my channel. What sort of content are you thirsty for? Anyways, everyone, thank you so much for dropping by. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.